Hey, what's up? It's Joe over here. I'm gonna try something new from now on, in the sense that I want to be able to create more content. There are days where I do have some free time, and stuff like that, and like making videos is fun. However, the thing is that I've been too stuck on the idea that each video I make has to be somewhat unique in its own way, and yada yada. Someone left a comment in one of my videos saying that there's no need to reinvent the wheel, right? If there's something that I feel that I should share or I can share, then like the people are gonna watch, if they're interested in my stuff or if they're interested in my videos. And honestly, that's probably like one of the best comments I ever received, honestly, because I'm not necessarily self-conscious. It's just like I always felt that if there's a video out there that's already teaching what I wanted to say or show whatever, then like I didn't feel like the need to make another video on that. But however, if people are following me, I guess they're interested in seeing how I work and they want to see how I do things and whatnot and the tools. So that's pretty much what I'm going to focus from now on, is making those types of videos. Videos that pretty much shows you my workflow, my approach toward things and all this stuff. There are certain things that I do which are small, but it may be a help to you. If you follow me on social media, Instagram and Twitter, those are like the main two accounts that I'm mainly on. I'm no longer on Facebook that much. However, I still have it, but I've been posting a lot of like 3D related work, right? I get 3D models and then like I just model them and do all kinds of, crazy shit with them, and all this is done in After Effects. So this is a model that I'm working on. Pretty much, I imported like the female stance and I imported like the katana here, and then pretty much just positioned the sword in her hands and all that. And like, I'm not gonna go too much into detail in this today. What I am gonna show you today is basically how I find my models, how I import them into Element 3D, and then how I add the materials and all that to pretty much, create my dailies that I do, right? The art that I do. Hopefully this video will help you out in the sense of if you want to get into more 3D stuff, then maybe you can use my approach. Like I said, I'm not into a 3D modeling, but if you want to get more into 3D, then this is something that could help you out. That being said, obviously you're going to need After Effects. As I mentioned, I got Element 3D. This is a plugin from Video Copilot, right? Really, really great plugin. It's $200. It does seem like a lot. However, it is very worth it. This thing has saved me a lot of time in regards to 3D. You can do some really cool stuff with it. And like, I can only imagine this plugin getting better. So definitely, support this plugin. Another thing I got, because like I said, I'm fucking lazy, is basically Pro Shaders. Basically, they create materials that are all like pre-made for you, whether it's metallic, dirt, fabrics, and stuff like that. Unfortunately, there's no organic stuff like skin or hair. Hopefully, they'll make it down the line, but because it's materials already pre-made instead of me making it. Because again, I'm fucking lazy and I don't want to do this shit. Also, Blender. I use Blender. For the longest time, I used Cinema 4D because it's one of like the first 3D modeling softwares that I was introduced to. However, Cinema 4D has shown some limitations. In Cinema 4D, at least in the version that I was using, they could not export OBJ sequences, which I thought was dumb as shit. However, with Blender, you are able to export an OBJ sequence, and OBJ sequences is what you need to import into Element 3D. That way you can import animations and stuff like that, right? And finally, I use Mixamo to find my models and all this stuff, You can actually upload your own character, whatever model you have, you can click and drag it in here. I mean, pretty much like whatever animation you want, it's all here, It's pretty cool. So if you want to try to do stuff for video games or whatnot, you can actually use these animations, to mess with. It's pretty cool. All right, definitely one of the coolest free 3D modeling websites out there is basically Free 3D, right? I searched for swords, and this is what I got. They got the free versions. They also got a paid versions, which is better quality, right? But the one I got is basically the katana with sheath. This is from Recon 656. And yeah, he gives you some notes. It comes with materials and all this stuff, so you can add them later. But I'm not gonna use the materials that came with this. I'm gonna use the materials I bought from Video Copilot again because I'm fucking lazy. That being said, let's get started. Since I already have an account with this guy and I like this model, I'm gonna download this. Available files. Download this guy. It's gonna do his thing. All right, it's already downloading. All right, so it downloads as a zip, right? So I'm going to transfer the files to a desktop folder just to keep things simple. Let's see, double click on the folder from my desktop, go to my downloads folder, click and drag this in here. And I'm going to use 7-zip. I like using that guy, extract here. Now, as you can see, pretty much this file, it says right here, it's a Blender. That's important because some of these models could be, I'll say it's an OBJ, it says Blender, Cinema 4D, but some of these could be for Maya or whatever. So yeah, definitely make sure that it's either an OBJ or it says it's a Blender file, right? That way you're able to open this in Blender. So I'm going to open this file. Oh, by the way, if for whatever reason, like, it's asking you how to open this file, after you download Blender, obviously, you can right click and you can say open with, and then you just tell it, from now on, open these files with Blender or whatever. So, in case you're having that issue. All right, so it opens up in Blender. We're not going to do too much in Blender. Pretty much what I want to do is I want it to open up the file in Blender and want to export this as an OBJ file. So we're going to go File, go down to Export, and Wavefront OBJ. I know when I first opened this thing kind of confused the crap out of me, but I mean, you got bookmarks, you're able to create bookmarks or where do you want to save certain things. Like, so just to keep things simple, I'm going to send this to my desktop. There's a folder that I created for this video, Katana test. Double click on it, and let's just say Katana test 00. So I'm gonna export it. Your mouse is gonna turn into some weird number thing. When it goes back to this window, that means it's done, right? Double click on my Katana folder that I created, and here it is, the Katana OBJ. I try to keep all related files together for obvious reasons, right? Just to keep things organized. I want to save this guy, so I'm gonna right click, new, solid. I'm gonna say Katana. Everything's okay. When I make my pictures, I always create it in 1080p by 1080p. Hit OK. We want to go to my effects or presets. Go down here to Video Copilot and hit Element. Go to Scene Setup. Then we're gonna click on Import. So yeah, we want to go to our desktop. Click on our Katana folder, and we want to import the OBJ that we just created. Hit Open. Everything should be okay. And you're like, what the fuck, what happened? Well, the file did import. However, it's super small. As you can see there, it's tiny. See, what happens is basically, when it goes by dimensions in Element 3D, they go by pixel size. And 3D software, say like Blender, they go by centimeters and stuff like that. So like the ratio is pretty different there. So pretty much what we had to do in this case to avoid the situation is when we export our model, we have to increase the scale of it when we export it to an OBJ, right? So I'm gonna go back to Blender here. I'm gonna go File, Export, Wavefront OBJ. It's telling me that there's already one named Katana. So we're gonna name this one Katana 01. And this, we're going to go down here to the export OBJ. And the scale, I chose 55. Enter. And then when they export this again. All right, that's done. Now we're going to delete this guy. We don't need it. Then we're going to import our new scaled Katana that we just created. Hit OK. And you can see here, it got a lot bigger, right? Now, this may be too big, actually, but you can shrink it down. If you feel like the model is too big, obviously you can scale it in here, or you can just export it again, but at a smaller value. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to work with this, just to keep things moving. Also, it's easier to see. All right, so since we exported this from like Blender, and in Blender, pretty much each material had its own material assigned, right? Like the metal for like the handle and the blade and whatnot. It came here with all these blank areas. Now, for this model, when you download it from like this website, it does come with descriptions. It does come with the textures. They're right here. And then this guy tells you pretty much, where to put what, what texture belongs where. So pretty much to do that, you click on you can turn these on and off. Say like the handle. See, I'm turning that off. You can just click the material, grab the material. You can drop it into diffuse just like that. See, it already has it. Right there. That's one way to do it. However, I'm gonna undo that. Like I said, I'm fucking lazy. I don't do any of that shit. Also, since I bought the fucking material pack, I'm gonna use it. Shit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of like the sheath here and their name here. So we just turn these off by clicking these guys here. All right. Another thing I want to do is basically the anchor point. I want to center it to like the blade more. Click on the model. I'm gonna go to anchor point. It's XYZ, pretty simple. At the anchor point coordinates here, I want it to be more towards the center of the handle, say like around there. Move this guy a bit here. All right. So yeah, that way now if I was to rotate this, it rotates from like that angle right from the handle. So it's easier to like position if you want to move this guy in its a proper location, from your model that's holding it, right? However, one thing I learned is when you start rotating your model, right? Here's it is in the orientation when you rotate. I find it easier to use whole numbers. So in this case, if I want to rotate like that, instead of leaving it at 89.6, just move it to 90 degrees. Same thing if you want to move it up, instead of leaving it like that, just say to 90 degrees. If you want that angle, Same thing, you want to twist it this way. Now, the rest will update, but say if like, you wanted this angle, instead of leaving it at 93.3, I hope you guys can see this, at 90. And it's just like, it makes things easier because like, it keeps everything straight. Because you start moving stuff around without really paying attention to like the coordinates or the orientation, it does become kind of like a pain in the ass to like move it to the way you want. I'm going to zero these guys out. I'm going to go to my presets here, and like since I bought that Pro Shaders pack, I'm going to start adding like the materials I need. I'm going to start here at the handle. This is for like the cloth. So I do have, where is it? Fabrics. I got like a fabric leather. Let's do that. Boom, this quick. Let's try this one. It's darker. Yeah, that looks cool. This is a katana end piece. Now, the Pro Shaders, I have a metal. So let's do a clean gold. That looks cool. The handguard, let's use the same gold. Katana handle, which is this one. Oh, is that part? All right, so I assume this is wood. So I'm going to go with the wood section here. There is a Japanese wood panel thing here, whatever. It has some like writing on it, so I'm going to use that. The handle, I'm going to go back to the metal. Drop the gold. Another part here, use the gold. And this is the blade. Let's go with let's clean metal. Ooh, that looks pretty fucking badass, actually. Yeah, like Video Copilot. This way, I kind of decided to use like the Pro shaders that I got because it already comes with the bumps and the glossiness and whatnot, and it makes life easier because, like I said, I'm fucking lazy. I like to make my life easier, right? And also for like it's $100 pack, it's cool. But again, you can make these yourself. You don't have to buy them. But like I said, I just like to make my life easier, so I got it. So that's cool, right? And the cool thing is, you can actually right-click on this guy, and you can say save model preset, favorite katana test 1. You hit OK. It might freeze a bit because it's taking a while to think. All right, so if I was to delete this and remove unused materials, I can actually go to my katana test, click on it, boom, and it's ready to go, right? And this even has the anchor port where I had it oriented. So yeah. All right. I'm going to stop the video here. And in the future, I'm going to like show you how I hook this katana towards a model, along with showing you how I get a model and then put them together and all that stuff. And like, yeah, I'm going to like make this kind of like a little thing for pretty much to show you my workflow and whatnot and anything else I may think of in between, right? One more thing. When you click on your katana and you click on this section right here, the surface options, there's an area here that says optimize mesh. And pretty much what this does is it reduces the amount of polygons that your model has, and that can help, especially when you start to add too much stuff together at the same time in the same scene, because pretty much the way how Element 3D works is that it uses your GPU VRAM, right? Just like a video game, how the GPU shoots out like the render image, on real time. Element 3D works the same way. They had that in mind when they were designing this plugin. They want to have something similar to like a video games where it uses the GPU, right? I have 2 GPUs, right? So on the second GPU, you can see the dedicated memory GPU is using almost 3 gigabytes. And then up here, hopefully you guys can see it. It says it's using 3 gigabytes of VRAM. So depending on your graphics cards, the more VRAM you have, the better, right? I actually have a video talking about that, like what GPU to get if you want to do this kind of stuff. Yeah, I definitely recommend getting something that has the bare minimum 4 gigabytes of VRAM. However, if you're able to get a graphics card that has 6 gigabytes, you should be good, right? Especially if you're going to be working with like 1080p projects and stuff like that. If you want to do some more complex crap, then definitely go with something that has more than 8 gigabytes of VRAM or more, right? My cards have 8 gigabytes. I'm golden with that. I don't do too much crazy shit at the moment with it. But yeah, 4 gigabytes minimum, 6 gigabytes, you're good. 8 gigabytes of VRAM, you're great. So anyways, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to stop. That's pretty much it. As you can see here, it's a cool model, they got for free, using my presets I got from Video Copilot. You can have reflections and all this stuff. You can see the bumps in the middle and whatnot. Thanks for watching this video. Share it, subscribe, ask questions, leave comments and all this stuff. And yeah, check the description, if you want to help me out. I appreciate it. Definitely follow me and all this stuff. So that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching. Take care and peace.